Would you be willing to face everything for a passion? Today you will learn about a beautiful story between a millionaire and a simple cook, and you will see that love can overcome any barrier. But before we begin, subscribe to the channel and click like. In one of the brightest and busiest cities in the United States, where skyscrapers touch the clouds and life seems to run at a frantic pace, lives a man named Richard Bennett. At 50 years old, Richard is the embodiment of success. Owner of one of the largest luxury hotel chains in the country, recognized for his understated charm, impeccable elegance, and a demeanor that blends seriousness with kindness. His life, in the eyes of those observing from the outside, seems perfect. But for Richard, there was something missing that no amount of money could buy: true happiness. Richard always believed that love was a privilege of the young, something that time had left behind. His days were filled with meetings, trips, and important decisions, while his nights were silent, marked by solitary dinners in his spacious penthouse overlooking the illuminated city. He had grown accustomed to loneliness, until the day an irresistible aroma invaded the hallway of the main hotel in his chain, changing everything forever. It was an ordinary morning when Richard decided to go down to the hotel kitchen, something he rarely did. The aroma of freshly baked bread and fresh spices guided him there, where he found an unexpected scene: a woman with dark hair, bright eyes, and a warm smile skillfully and joyfully leading the team. She was Isabella Morales, the new chef hired for that hotel. At 38 years old, Isabella carried with her much more than delicious recipes. She brought dreams, stories, and a quiet courage from having faced many challenges to get there. Isabella was the daughter of Latino immigrants, raised in a small neighborhood where life was simple but full of affection. From a young age, she learned the secrets of traditional cooking from her mother, and it was with great effort that she carved out her place in the culinary world. For her, cooking was more than a job. It was a way to convey love, to create bonds, and to transform ordinary moments into unforgettable memories. In that first meeting, Richard was enchanted not only by the flavors that Isabella created, but also by her authenticity and friendliness. She in turn saw in Richard a kind man, attentive to details and surprisingly humble, despite his fame and fortune. In the following weeks, the two began to meet frequently, sometimes by chance and sometimes by choice. They talked about everything: recipes, travels, dreams, music, and even the difficulties they faced in life. What started as a sincere friendship soon turned into something deeper. The glances became longer, the smiles more genuine, and both of their hearts began to beat faster. Richard felt rejuvenated next to Isabella, while she discovered a new world full of possibilities. But not everything was easy. Soon, rumors began to circulate through the hotel corridors and the pages of gossip magazines. Many said that Isabella was only interested in Richard's money, that the age difference was too great, that people from such different worlds could never be happy together. The malicious comments reached the ears of the staff, friends, and even Richard's family, who had always been very protective. Richard, used to dealing with difficult negotiations, felt powerless in the face of that wave of judgments. Isabella, even though she was accustomed to facing prejudices, was shaken. On a rainy night, she decided to talk to Richard on the hotel terrace, where the view of the city seemed even more beautiful under the lights and the sound of the rain.
Richard, I never wanted to cause you any trouble. I know what they are saying about us, and I don't want you to suffer because of me,
said Isabella, her voice choked. Richard held her hands and looked into her eyes tenderly.
Isabella, I don't care what they say. What really matters is what I feel for you. I've never felt so alive, so happy. I won't give that up because of other people's prejudice.
Richard's sincerity deeply touched Isabella's heart. They embraced, finding strength in each other to face the adversities. They decided that they would no longer hide their love, that they would live each moment intensely, without fear of others' judgment. From that moment on, they started going out together, attending events, traveling, and most importantly, sharing simple moments, like a candlelit dinner or a walk in the park. The complicity between them was visible, and little by little, the people around them began to realize that the feeling was genuine. Even so, the challenges continued. At one of the charity events organized by the hotel, a persistent reporter tried to corner Isabella, asking if she intended to marry Richard for interest. Elegantly, Isabella replied,
Love is not measured by money or status. What I feel for Richard is real, and that is what matters to us.
The response gained prominence on social media, and many began to support the couple, admiring Isabella's courage and sincerity. She became an example of overcoming challenges and authenticity, inspiring other women to believe in themselves and their dreams. Meanwhile, Richard was also facing family challenges. His older brother, always suspicious of the intentions of those around him, tried to convince him to give up the relationship. But Richard, firm in his decision, explained,
Isabella makes me happy like no one ever has. I can't give that up just because some people don't understand our love.
Over time, Richard's family began to get to know Isabella better, realizing that she was much more than a talented cook. Her charisma, kindness, and dedication won everyone over, including Richard's nephews, who loved visiting the hotel kitchen to learn recipes from her. The relationship between the two grew stronger with each obstacle they overcame. Isabella, who was once shy in front of the cameras, began giving interviews, participating in cooking shows, and even writing a cookbook, encouraged by Richard. He, in turn, learned from Isabella to appreciate the small moments, to slow down, and to see life with more lightness. One day, during a trip to Isabella's hometown, Richard was introduced to her family. Welcomed with joy and curiosity, he was moved to see the simplicity and warmth of that home. At a lively lunch, surrounded by laughter and stories, Richard felt part of something bigger, a real family. On the way home, as they walked along the beach, Richard stopped, looked at Isabella, and with the sunset in the background said,
You taught me the true meaning of love. I want to spend the rest of my life by your side, facing everything together, celebrating every victory, and learning from every challenge. Will you marry me?
Isabella, excited, replied with a radiant smile.
Yes. Richard, nothing would make me happier.
The wedding was a celebration of the union of two worlds filled with joy, music, flavors, and love. Family, friends, and even former critics attended, surrendered to the couple's contagious happiness. Isabella wore a beautiful white dress, simple and elegant, while Richard, with his eyes shining with emotion, could not hide his happiness. After the wedding, Isabella continued her successful career, opening her own restaurant with Richard's support. Together, they created social projects to teach cooking to young people from underprivileged communities, sharing not only recipes, but also opportunities and hope. The story of Richard and Isabella became known throughout the country, inspiring people of different ages, backgrounds, and social classes to believe in the power of true love. They prove that when there is respect, affection, and companionship, differences become just details in a much larger story. And so, amidst delicious aromas, sincere laughter, and passionate glances, Richard and Isabella continued together, showing the world that love knows no barriers, that happiness can be found in the most unexpected places, and that when two hearts truly meet, nothing can separate them. With each new day, they celebrated not only the love they felt for each other, but also the courage to follow their hearts, even when everything seemed to be against them. And so, They lived happily, proving that a happy ending is indeed possible for those who believe and fight for what they feel. And this is the story of Richard and Isabella, a story of overcoming courage and, above all, a love capable of transforming lives, inspiring dreams, and showing that, in the end, what really matters is what we feel in our hearts. Share this beautiful story with your friends and subscribe to our channel to follow the upcoming videos.